know, right?
Okay, 3,
It's not even
2,
sponsored.
1.
No, that's dedication. That is dedication.
Today's podcast, we have a special guest, Alicia from Singapore.
Yeah, my flight wasn't even paid for. What is
Oh.
this?
It's actually
When we get big, we'll fly. you.
Remember this moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't want
She's
to.
also the first female guest. Okay, the first topic we're going to talk about is long-term relationships.
Long term or long
LDR.
distance?
Long distance relationship.
Okay.
Okay. So you said you're from Singapore and you also dated someone in UK while you studied UK
Yeah.
and you moved back. How was it? Like, was the problems in the relationship? Communication style, did it change? Like, how did you show affection over long distance?
I think in like the last relationship, because we both, like you said, we both studied in London. And so because you're living basically together, it doesn't really matter that you have different love languages, right? Like one person really relies on like quality time and physical, like what's physical
Touch.
affection?
Touch.
Yeah, physical touch. Whereas for me, it's more like acts of service and like words of affirmation, right? But that doesn't really come into play when you're living in the same city. And then when you're then pulled apart, those things like are almost highlighted. And when you're talking to someone through a screen, it really, really shows. And I think that was like the main thing because his love language was quality time
Yeah.
and physical touch,
So
which
that's-
is obviously,
That's a big red flag. Like,
yeah.
having that physical touch is necessary if he needs it.
Yeah, exactly. So then like that definitely played a role because he didn't feel like he was receiving that kind of affection, and for me he wasn't particularly good with like giving words of affirmation, so there was like this clash, which I don't like blame him for. It's just something that we're just different people and like
Exactly,
showed love differently. I don't fault people that do long distance relationships. I think if you feel like you see an end goal, like definitely go and try, because I feel like I'm the kind of person where if you don't try, you'll never know. So I'm glad we tried it, and it didn't work out, unfortunately, and now like
was this
now I
at the
know.
start of the relationship? Or
No,
like...
we were both like in London
Yeah.
when we first started dating.
Okay.
It was just because like he had an extra year left in uni, but I finished and then I had to move back.
Got you.
Back to
So
Singapore.
you was in London since under like the second year of you two, like.
Yeah, the second year of us dating.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So it wasn't that bad. And like his
Yeah.
home base was the same as mine. So he's still gonna come back, but then it came down to in the long run, like he wanted to stay here and I was gonna be in Singapore.
Oh, so yes, like different
So,
goals and stuff.
Yeah, it's just different circumstances. So
I
because
thought
of
you
that.
had like plans to come back to UK.
I mean, yes, that was the intention, right? But then I found a job in Singapore that I really like, and professionally I wanted to stay there, and it made sense for me to stay there. And as much as I want to come back here, it would solely be for my friends, not for my profession and career. And right now I think my career in Singapore is definitely on the upward trajectory, and so
Even though they make you work like 12 hours a day,
Yeah, but we don't talk about that because we're Asians and we grind, right? That's what we're
you
taught
just
to
do
do.
what we're told to
Maybe
do.
I'm different. I'm different. Okay. But...
Yeah, so it just like right now I think I need to be there, and sadly if that means I have to sacrifice like my friends, then it's okay, because like I know that the friends that I have here, I don't have to talk to them like every single day, but I know that if I'm here, like today I literally texted you and was like
Yeah, like
hi.
12, I was like, hi. When I was about to leave the house, like, hi, you free tonight? I was like, I thought you're flying back already.
Yeah.
And then spontaneously we met up, and then obviously you asked her to come on the podcast.
Yeah, and like me and Tommy have never hung out one-on-one.
No.
It's always been in the group, and it only
Wow.
hit me today when I was thinking. I was like, wait, I've never hung out with you one-on-one.
No. It's most likely
Yeah.
like she would go out and meet like Lily first, and then oh yeah, you wanna
Come
meet Tommy,
join,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Most of the time she'll be with the trans family, and I'll
Yeah.
just join in afterwards.
Yeah, but it would always be in a group setting, and I did like take a second to think like, oh, will we be able to have conversation? But then I was like, no, it's chill.
Right. Yeah, you
Like-
guys are friends. you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly.
you shouldn't
But
think
it's
that.
because
Yeah.
we've never needed to be
Yeah.
just the two of us. But I think now that you're older, not saying that it comes with age, but when you're
You're
Yeah.
at the stage of life where it's like
it's fine.
You're open. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like I feel comfortable with you as a company. I can speak to you about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and like we were never that kind of friends that would text. But then
No.
if I have like, I know that if I was in the shits, I would be like, tell me I fucked up.
Yeah, I get you. I
Like,
get you.
yeah. So
Then that the same thing you're doing to me, I do to them. Like,
Yeah.
shit, guys, I fucked up. What happened?
Every day,
Yeah.
bruv, every day.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Interracial couples.
have you ever dated a
I
non-Asian?
have not dated anyone other than Asian,
But why?
just because I don't really find like this common interest. Like if let's say if I was to date a white person, not saying I wouldn't, I don't mind. It's just that they might have slightly different upbringings than I did.
Right.
Like I enjoy people's company that have the same upbringing as me.
I feel like it's like different traditions and like different
Cultural.
cultural, yeah, like cultural differences. That's why I
Different
think,
family expectations as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to dating people that are not Asian. It's just that I don't really find them like on the same wavelength. I'm not attracted to Asians. That's what I say. That's what I say to myself.
But have you been attracted to
I
a
have
non?
been attracted to other people
Okay.
other than Asians.
But then do you not think that you kind of hold yourself back from giving them the opportunities to show you that maybe actually they have similar upbringings?
Yeah, it's for me. It's like harder to hold a conversation at the beginning with them. Like I do have friends that I speak to, that obviously are female and like not Asian, and it takes me a while to open up to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could be a stigma of mine where it's hard for me to open up to people that are not Asian. But I still need to get over that barrier. But it could be a chance in the future. I'm not saying no.
Is it because, do you think if you brought someone home that was not Asian, that would
Oh,
affect
my
your
mom would be happy.
relationship? Oh, really?
She told me I can date any race I want.
Okay.
Like, as long as I'm happy and I'm fulfilled in my life with my partner, then she has no complaints.
Don't you guys find it odd that that's a conversation or a statement that you have to have with your parents? Or like your parents have to be like, you can
Yeah.
date any race that
It's,
you
it's
want.
it's such a weird thing to go through.
Mm-hmm.
you
Well, she's
know?
never asked me. She just told me, like, look, you can date anyone you want. She just outright said it, like, one day you can date anyone you want. I'm like, okay. This is
What did your parents say then?
I think it was
Like-
pretty normal because I went to international school. So a
Okay.
lot of my friends were like European. Or
So they
non-Asian.
expected it.
Not really
essentially.
expected. I don't think it was something that they even,
Thought about.
yeah, it was like, if it happened, it would make sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if I didn't, it also would make sense. They
Yeah.
didn't really care.
And I think it's easier for a female Asian to date other, like, Europeans, like Caucasian people. Whereas
Mm.
for
You think?
I think so, because it's very hard for an Asian guy to date a Caucasian.
I don't think Asian guys are desirable anyway.
That's true.
That's what I think.
I mean, I've seen a few like Asian guys with white or
That's in
non-Asians.
Singapore, not like here in UK, in London. I don't.
I mean,
really
it's
see many.
rare.
It's
It's
very
more
rare.
rare, unless they have like yellow fever, then like.
Yeah, yellow
But
fever.
that's usually towards female, like
yeah,
females.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what kind of Caucasians have you dated?
Caucasians you have
I've
dated?
dated.
Jesus, that's a crazy question.
I've dated an Irish person. I've
Is it
dated.
Irish?
Okay, when we say what is dating, like proper girlfriend,
Yeah, like,
boyfriend, or you?
Exclusive, like not your man and yours, like
Okay.
no one else.
Okay.
No,
So
no third wheel.
right. Okay. So then it's Irish, half French, half English, full English.
She's saying like
Uh,
full English breakfast right now.
I would maybe like Colombian. That's non. Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then yes,
Colombian, that's spicy, bro.
that was never again. That was
Never
enough
again?
spice in my life.
Wow, my cousin's dating Colombian or Venezuelan.
Okay, which one treated you the best?
Wait, you basing it off
Their
The
race.
no, the Caucasian. No, I'm saying like the category of Caucasian people. Like
Oh.
which treated you like with more respect, like that showed you more love compared to the other ones.
That's a crazy
Probably
question.
the Irish.
Wow, I thought it'd be the French.
Nah, that one.
Is that a placebo?
That fucked me up big time.
Because you dated a French one before you started uni, right?
Yeah, we dated on like in year 13, and then we did a year of long distance because he went to uni first. I took a gap year, and then going into first year, that was when we broke up. But that was not a good relationship.
So what made it not a good relationship? Was it because you guys did not communicate well? Or was it just like
I also think we were very young, like we were 18, and looking back, like I'm not trying to say that it was all of his fault. Like I definitely played a role, obviously. Definitely lack of communication. And I think communication is a huge thing, and we didn't communicate our expectations well, I think.
so there's no boundaries of what you guys did?
Yeah, and I think personally on my experience of the whole thing where I felt very controlled, where he didn't like it if I went to hang out with like certain people. Like I remember when I met Denzel and Ryan, he didn't like it that my closest friends were guys.
Wow.
And like
That's a red flag.
yeah.
Insecure. We should talk about red flags. What's your red flags?
My
for guys?
red flags for
Yeah.
guys, insecurity,
Uh-huh.
or at least like not being able to extend trust. Because for me, we were talking about it earlier, where if I'm gonna date somebody, I don't care who you hang out with because I know that you're with me.
Yeah.
So I don't care your best friend's a girl, like or your whole group of friends are girls, because deep down I know if you're gonna be with me, you're gonna be with me, and I
Yeah.
hope that can be reciprocated. Because when I didn't receive that, then it made me question whether or not I should be friends with those people. Yeah, so that's like I think the biggest thing.
Because I remember you saying how your last one, you specifically told him that majority of your friends are males in London.
Mm-hmm.
And was he intimidated by that, or was he just like, oh, is it cool?
He was cool with it. Like my last boyfriend, like he definitely had like 100% trust in me. Like he didn't care. I think it was more because like there wasn't an issue that a lot of my friends in uni were guys. It was just more, I think, because his personality, like he's, I would say, very introverted. So if you're gonna go like you guys have big personalities. So if another guy were to come in, like meet all my close friends that all have big personalities, I think that can take a lot, especially if you are an introvert and it takes you a while to come out of your shell.
Definitely, yeah.
And also I think like at the time it wasn't like we were going to a lot of like social events, so there wasn't much like opportunities for him to like then, you know, get to know you guys, because it was always when he did come, it was always like a big group. And it's a bit much. Like I remember meeting you guys and I'm like, this is a lot.
Well, no, like most of the time when we met your last one, it was at a club in a bit.
Yeah.
And like half the time we were smashed.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, so you're him. Hi. Oh, and we just disappear for like 2
yeah.
minutes.
Or like, and even then, like you're just like, oh, did I actually meet him? Like, I don't even remember.
Actually, no, the first time I saw him, I thought he was your friend.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
I think it was it Halloween?
Yeah.
It was Halloween. I thought, oh, this is Alicia's
I think
friend.
that was when I introduced you guys kind of briefly.
And I was like, oh, and then Ryan told me it was your like someone you're seeing. I was like, oh, okay. I just left you guys alone. And then at the end of the night, I saw you guys like, did you guys go back together or something?
No, we didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, maybe I saw someone else. But I definitely saw like a tall figure, like a tall female figure. I was like, it can't be Alicia, it can be Alicia. I was like, oh, don't know.
You have to check if the heels are on or not.
Yeah, you don't wear heels.
I don't wear heels.
You don't wear heels?
I mean, I do with my family.
Yeah.
But like,
Her family's tall.
Really? I would assume so.
yeah, I'm like the shortest in my family.
Oh my. How tall are you again?
Like 5'8", 173,
5'8"?
3,
You're
5'7", 5'7",
Damn.
5'8".
You're 5'8".
Oh, okay.
Does that play a part in what the reasons why you date Caucasian men?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
In school, I think it was rare for the Asian guys to be taller than me, because Asian guys like hit puberty a lot later, right?
I'm probably going through it still. 23.
Yeah. So
Hey,
oh, I thought we were riding that wave there.
Wait until you're 30, yeah?
Yeah.
I know, shit.
Nah, but Asians don't raise them, so
Nah. Yeah, that's
it's fine.
yeah. You gotta take. It's give and take. It's give and
Yeah.
Like majority of tall guys in our group are like 5'11", 5'10".
Mm.
I don't know anyone taller than that in our immediately close group.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. Like dating in Asia is so hard.
Yeah, dating in Asia quite
take.
hard.
Oh
man.
shit! I want to know about that because
Dating in
honestly,
Asia
I
is
know like.
hard.
Wait, 1 sec. You have to read one.
Move on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Dating in Asia. That's really interesting. Let me move on. That's fine. Leave it. All right. Just clap.
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we're talking about dating in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
I am dating your 20s specifically.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how's dating in Asia compared to dating in London?
Okay, I don't think it's fair to compare dating in London because I wasn't I was single, but I wasn't
Going out,
yeah.
actively seeking.
Because when you date at the time when we were in uni, you just date people that you kind of know.
Yeah,
Or you
in your
meet.
circle.
Yeah, in your circle, right? So it's kind of different. Whereas now in Singapore, first of all, Singapore is fucking small. And it's to the point where if you get their Instagram and you go on the Instagram
Mhm.
page,
You know what they
80% chance you'll have like 1 to 3 mutuals.
That's so weird.
So even if you wanted something casual, you can't. Because
give it Instagram.
I feel like that's the same though in Abacus.
yes, the circle is small.
In the Asian community in London. I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, like you'll know some. It's like the 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
That's the same, right? 6 degrees of separation. You're gonna know somebody,
Yeah.
and
Or if you don't, someone's gonna know about you, and then they're gonna tell them about
exactly. And it's not that you want to fuck around. It's just you
Mm.
just kind of want to keep it in your own bubble, and just to have that experience between the two of you. But you can't have that because there might be a chance that they're gonna tell somebody, and then it's gonna come back to
it.
you.
100%.
Yeah. And then so it's hard. And then in Singapore, they're either too short. If they're not short, they're weird. And if they're not weird, they're like psychotic or controlling.
Seriously?
Yeah. And then if you take all that out, they're taken. So
I mean, the good ones in Asia are usually taken quite early.
yeah.
They're taken at the age of what, 20.
Yeah.
I mean, now I think about Singapore is actually so small.
It's so small because people start dating when they're like in school and then they go through like college and whatever. And then
Army first,
yeah, then they go and
stick
buy a house together and they have a baby. And
God
they're like my
damn.
age. And I'm just kind of like, I am baby.
yeah.
Like, I
Jeez,
can't.
baby.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really hard. And I think like in England, like say if a guy comes up to a girl and like hits on them, right? I feel like they're more respectful when a girl says, I appreciate that, you came up to me to compliment me, but I'm not interested. And the guy will be like, okay, cool. Like, thanks for entertaining this conversation. Like, have a good day. And then they'll move on.
Yeah.
In Singapore, oh my God, like I've had so many experiences where a guy has like come up to me in the mall and like tries to hit on me. And I'm like, oh, like, thanks, but I'm not interested. Like, thank you, but no. And they'll straight up be like, no, I think you should give me your number. And I'm like, no, I think you should
Sounds
fuck
like
off.
some
Like,
Korean club in
yeah.
Europe.
And it's
Yeah.
like broad daylight. And I'm like, no, like I don't want to. And then some of them have been like, no, but then if you don't give me your number, like how can we go out? And I'm like, we're not.
It's like they don't want to take the rejection.
Yeah.
It's like wanna go again. Like,
exactly. And it
please, mommy.
yeah, and like Singaporean guys have this like, I'm probably gonna generalize here, I'm gonna get hate, but like whatever. But it's just my experiences. But it's like they are unable to accept that a girl is not interested in them.
I feel that's a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of guys in Asia.
Exactly. And it puts you off because whereas here it's like if someone hits on you, they get rejected, they might be like, okay, well then do you just kind of like want to be friends?
Mhm.
But it's not in a weird
No,
way.
of course not.
And then because they're like so chill about it, you're like, oh, actually maybe, you're pretty chill. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But in Singapore, it's like, just
That's
go.
so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So what are the dating stories like? Like, obviously you've been on like online dating profiles.
Mm-hmm.
You had experience in that.
Mm-hmm.
How's that like compared to like someone introducing you to someone else?
I think when someone introduces you, you tend to not have you have one less barrier, right? Because
Yeah.
you kind of trust that person's judgment where they think, oh, I think these two people might get it on. So especially if it's your friend that's introducing you, you're going to trust them like, okay, I'm going to trust that this guy is not a psychopath and then entertain the conversation. But then when it's online, like, you don't know what they're like.
That is true. Like you told me about one of your dates where they tried to kiss you at the end.
Yeah, I was just kind of like,
On the first
oh
date.
my God, like, get
On
away
the first
from me.
date. Would you not? I
No.
feel like in London it's like
London, it depends on your age, right? I think I found out that the younger you are, the less likely you succeed if you make it on the first date.
Do you know what I think it is actually? I think it's maybe in dating in Asia, is it like actually dating? Also, like on dating apps in London, it's like hookups. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
there's a good mix of both.
There's a good mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Yeah, I'm just not like that. Like
Yeah.
I can't. It's really weird. And also in Singapore, everyone lives with their parents. So where are you gonna hook up?
Yeah.
They go to like those
Hotels.
motels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motels.
Motels,
Shit.
hotels.
Not even hotels,
On the,
motels.
on the outskirts. Shit.
Yeah,
man.
it's like
I said they do the same thing in Hong Kong.
it's like a Premier Inn.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
here? Yeah. Yeah, so it's really
Wait,
hard.
Do you have criteria?
Height.
Height. Singlish.
No.
You hate Singlish. I was gonna say.
Okay, I have Singlish. Like I can speak Singlish.
Okay.
I code switch. So
Yeah.
if I speak to my parents, it will be in Singlish.
Mhm.
And I find that if we are drinking and we're playing a competitive game, the
She's so
Singlish comes out.
I've heard her bring out her Singlish side in Peck. I was like, wow, do we have a Singaporean here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Karaoke in
It's
Singlish.
strong. Like me and Tak call her out one time.
Oh no.
Oh, say again.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah.
That's so
She gets
funny.
like PTSD and anxiety. Like, who's listening?
Yeah, it's really bad. And yeah, I think when you get multiple dating apps in Singapore as well, you see the same people.
Oh yeah.
because
that.
because the algorithm, they know what kind of people you swipe on.
Oh.
So then they kind of pick up, I guess, and then like if you go from Hinge to Bumble,
Yeah.
you see the same people and you're just kind of like, well, the pool is
Very
so
so,
small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so have you like experienced Hinge here while you're on holiday? Have you had a chance to even go to Hinge?
Yeah, but again, no, like it's nothing.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
Are you
And
got-
also, if I'm here, I don't want to be dating. Like I'm here to
Oh,
see my
yeah.
friends.
Okay.
Are you looking for a relationship? Especially in. Well, I know you said you're career orientated, so.
I don't know. Like I was talking to Tommy about it earlier, and it's
Mm.
not that I think you just miss like companionship, like someone to call and be like, I had a really bad day.
Yeah.
And I know that you can do that with your friends, but it's different,
I get you.
you
It's
know?
on like, let's say like you had a bad day,
Hmm.
and like Sam's not there, for example.
Yeah.
Like okay, like who can I speak to? Me, Chris, or Leon?
Yeah.
Like you don't really open up fully about what happened to you that day. You may
Yeah.
open up like 80%, but what happens at 20%? You want to save that for your significant other.
Mm.
Like that's where they can break it down to like what really happened. Whereas we can only break down the surface area. Like I said that to Alicia, that you're missing that like core companionship with someone that's intimate and that can fully understand you
Hmm.
compared to a friend. A friend can understand you fully, but not to that extent. That's what I said.
Yeah, or it's even just, you know, when you just want to talk to somebody, but you don't actually have anything to say. It's just to call, you can just
Yeah.
call somebody and just be like, I don't have
Yeah.
a
I'm here
purpose.
to waffle.
I
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
Like you just call and maybe you don't even speak.
Yeah,
It's totally
exactly.
fine.
You just put them there and then you
Yeah,
kind of do
yeah,
your
yeah.
own thing, right?
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I missed that. But then again, because I know that I missed that, I don't think that's the right mindset to go into a
Of
relationship.
course, not just for that specific purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, and also like I work 5.5 days a week. I don't have time.
Mm.
And when I do have the day off, it's like, do I want to just chill at home or do I want to hang out with my friends?
Yeah.
And then if you do go on a date and it goes shit, you're just like, wow, I just wasted a
But then you
whole
can
evening.
you can also talk to someone else on the side. Like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, but
That
it's
sounds
just
pretty
so
hard for you
much
then.
effort.
Like
yeah.
you said no time, hard to find guys. in
Yeah,
Singapore.
but then I think I'm also like not, maybe I'm not prioritizing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, as you said that you don't have time, right? But you're also making effort to go on dates. Let's say you were to find someone that you click with, like
Hmm.
a couple dates down the line, you guys click, and you guys make it sort of exclusive in the
Mhm.
beginning. Would you carry on, even though knowing that your workload is like increasing per week?
Yeah. I think you'll never know that whether or not you're ready for a relationship until you're in it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with that statement 100%.
Yeah. So if I feel like it feels right and even though I am really busy with work, but that person doesn't feel like work to me, then it should be fine. Because I can have a long ass day, but then if I hang out with like my significant other,
Mhm.
it's kind of like for you to just relax. Like it shouldn't feel like you're putting in effort to spend
Yeah.
time with them.
That is true. Like you should not feel like the person you're with is that you're making effort every
Yeah.
single minute of the day.
Yeah, like you shouldn't feel like you have to make time for them.
Okay, so what is your other red flag? So it's, what did we say again? The first red flag.
Oh, like insecurities and
Insecurity.
like trust.
Then
Second
height.
one?
height.
Single.
Oh, that's not a red flag. That's like
It's not-
a
that's
that's
not-
that's like a solid
Yeah,
amber.
But then she
yeah.
wouldn't date any short kings. So like, we're saying 5'5".
No, but
you
she
wouldn't-
has that. You have dated.
I
so-
have.
Yeah.
But how they weren't significantly shorter. They're like
No, they
5'7".
weren't significantly shorter.
I'm talking about 3 or 4 inches.
If they were like a full head shorter than me, they would need to be like the most confident person ever.
Oh damn.
But you would though.
If they had like everything else, why not?
Oh wow.
Like they have like stability. They make you laugh. Their sense of humor. They're good to your family.
Yeah.
Good to your friends.
If I'm with somebody who's like a head shorter than me, but he's so like confident about himself, not to the point where he's arrogant, but you know, fully confident, has everything, like he's driven, motivated, all that other stuff that, you know, I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But and at the same time doesn't give a shit if I wear heels and we go on a date, and doesn't care that if we walk like down the road and he gets looked, then what's
Yeah, why
wrong?
not?
Yeah. But
Ah,
have you
that's
found
really
have you found
interesting.
a person like that?
No,
I don't
I
think so.
I mean, we have one person there, Kevin, we're sleeping. So.
I'm not that.
No, but you're confident in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
don't care what people.
You reflect that on your surrounding.
Yeah.
I mean, because I just carry myself. I don't really care about other people.
Yeah, but it's so you'd be surprised as to how many guys actually do.
Because when you talk about insecurities, I was thinking
Mm.
like, I actually know loads of guys that are really insecure about that. Like, for example, you going out and hang around with Ryan and
Mhm.
sort of like, if my friend's girlfriend did that, they'll be like blowing their fucking mind. They'll be, oh my god, she did this and that. That texting me and shit. I'm like, oh bro, you need to relax, boy. Like,
At least
Yeah.
You trust your partner. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say.
Exactly.
So those are the 3 red flags.
Mm,
Long distance could be one.
I don't think that's a red flag,
mm,
because you both partners have to make the decision to go into that. It's not just one person. It's a red flag if one person is imposing that decision on the other person. That's a red flag, because then one person's not in it, you know.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like one's in and one's out.
Exactly.
it's one-sided.
Yeah. I think another red flag is, like I just said, like imposing your beliefs on the other. I think it's fine for you to have separate opinions, separate beliefs. And you can have like discussions about it, but I think what's important is that you're open into hearing the other person's side. And if you guys still don't agree, then just accept that you have different opinions and kind of
Yeah.
move on.
So that next question leads like similar to that point.
Okay.
Would you consider your relationship with your partner if your friends don't mesh well with him and you don't mesh well with his friends? Like, we have completely different lifestyles.
With the friend
Yeah, you
group?
don't like the friend group.
But why don't I like the friend group? Because of
Just
hobbies or because of personalities?
personality. I wouldn't say hobbies is fine, personality wise.
I think if my personality doesn't click with them, it's fine. But I think it would be a red flag if I think the friends are not good for my partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're directing it at the friends, like if they're not good for your partner, but then your partner still chooses to be close friends with them.
If that's the case,
So whose fault is that then?
then obviously it's my partner's fault, right? Then if that's the case, then I don't think, we should be together.
Like, would you not give him a chance to change? Just like straight up no.
No, obviously I would give him a chance to change, but if he feels like his friends are good for him, despite like my opinions, and when I say not good, like maybe like dragging him down or all those like negative things, then that's him. Yeah.
I think you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if that's the case, then you wouldn't really be with that other person because they're hanging around with those type of people.
Yeah, I mean, would I, like, aside from that, like, would I like to be friends with my partner's friends? Yeah, of course, right? Because you want to be integrated in their group and like do things together with them. But at the same time, like, you can't force something that's not there. Like,
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
love for my partner to be close with my friends and do things together. But if they just don't click, then I think that would be a problem. Because for me, one of my values is for my partner to be friends with my friends. Yeah.
So that's a green flag there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, at least like even if you don't click, at least put in effort to make conversation
Mhm.
when you are in those like
Yeah.
social situations.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to bring people into like this friendship.
Yeah. Have you seen them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like,
This
it's so
group is
intimidating. I
so
think it's
tight.
really intimidating.
Like, from an outside point of view, it's very intimidating. Like, we have very strong personalities. I think for you to join the group, you have to go through like the easiest people first.
We were
When I say
talking
easy-
about this
Right,
earlier.
right, so we were speaking about this, right?
Yeah.
Like for Alicia's next boyfriend, they have to go through 4 people before that we give him a.
There's
approval.
like different levels of difficulty.
Okay.
So like
Okay, so level 1
it's Ryan.
is Ryan
Yep.
because he likes everybody.
If you don't pass Ryan,
Yeah.
you're done out.
Yeah.
You have to get out.
Bye.
Honestly. Seriously.
Not recycle. You're the trash.
Yeah.
When it comes to Denzel, Denzel looks intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a big.
He's a
teddy bear.
marshmallow.
But then he won't show you that he likes you
Mhm.
until it's official.
Yeah.
Right? Until like we as a group accept you, and it goes from I say it goes to me first and Tech, because we would like to like interrogate the person first, but I want to get to know you more to see if you're actually a good.
I think it
person.
would be Tack than you.
No,
I think you're
Tack-
the hardest level.
No, Tack is the bystander. So Tack will observe
That's what I was thinking.
the
Yeah.
like him trying to go through all of them
Mm-hmm.
and suss out like how he's gonna like maneuver the conversation.
Yeah,
That's Tack.
that's Tack.
Yeah.
And I'll just say it straight, like, why you dating her?
Yeah, like you are like just like always just
Like,
Right,
I have,
right to the
I have a
point.
dart in my hand,
yeah.
trying to hit the bullseye on him. Yeah, I would do that, 100%.
Yeah, I
But I
know.
didn't get to do it with the last one because every time we met, it was like,
You were waiting.
let's have a drink, let's go to my table, let's down some drinks.
Yeah, it's really hard to actually get to talk to you without alcohol in yourself. Or like crazy, you're just a crackhead, honestly.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a clown.
Reality check. I'm still a clown.
Yeah.
But even if I'm sober, I still do some dumb shit. Like the other day, right, we were celebrating Zoe's birthday. Apparently, I was running with a kickbox and trying to
apparently. It's not
offering it to someone. Someone was on a scooter. There was 2 people on the scooter, right, in the same scooter. And apparently, I don't remember this. I actually don't. I was holding the kickbox and chased after them in the middle of Chinatown. Like, that's something I would do when I'm drunk, but I wouldn't do that when I'm sober.
That's how you know he grew up in the countryside.
Oh yeah.
That's how I make friends, guys. I offer people cake in the middle of the street. We should do that for next episode.
What's next?
Next is, okay, who out of all your exes or even people you're dating now or like you're seeing would you stay friends with?
Actually, would you stay friends with your exes?
Depends on how it ended.
Then I'll end it, right?
Yeah, definitely circumstantial. Definitely would stay friends with my last ex.
Wait,
yeah.
Can you explain the circumstance? Because for me, I'll be like, I would never ever stay friends with exes because I feel like it could catch feelings and then that whole situation would even get even worse.
Okay, like say, okay,
That's why.
I would never stay friends with an ex if they like cheated or did
Mhm.
something like hurtful, like all that kind of stuff, like one and
Yeah.
done kind of thing. But I think if you broke up on like based on like circumstances, then it's not because anything bad happened in the
Mhm.
relationship. It's just you guys were in either different stages of life or just different physical locations.
Yeah.
Then I think you could still be friends. Yes, I think there's a risk of you maybe potentially getting feelings if you were like in the same place again. But then that's that's not really like a bad
It's
problem.
not a bad thing, yeah. Especially if you, as you said, like if it's not like anything bad.
Yeah.
Of course, like if you guys get together again, it's just starting from.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like starting round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, I personally wouldn't.
You wouldn't stay.
I've tried.
Yeah, but like the people you've dated.
Yeah. Local.
Oh my god. No, like I've tried becoming friends with like my exes, but it does not work out for good reason.
Mm.
It's because it drags on. So let's say, for example, you still have feelings after you break up, no matter what happened. Okay, and it drags for months and months. Like you're emotionally exhausted,
Mhm.
and then it gets to the point where you're wondering if it's even right to still speak to them. Like, why don't you just cut yourself out of their life and enjoy your life without them, and see how much you improve as a person? That's personally what I did, and I drastically changed my point of view of how I do things now.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure Kevin vouched for it as well, like how I have improved mentally.
Yeah.
Wait, why you
No.
not-
You looked at me like I wasn't gonna make a joke or anything.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying,
like-
no, definitely, you definitely
Like,
improved. Yeah.
Kev's been there supporting me a lot.
Yeah. But I
Um,
think with that it comes with like emotional maturity of both
I'm gonna
sides.
say so. Yeah.
Yeah, because in your case, I don't know if I can't speak for it, but maybe one person wasn't as mature as you'd like to be, right? Because if 2 people break up, it's obviously most of the time it's one person driving it. So as much as it hurts the person that's being broken up with, I feel like you sort of owe it to your ex-partner to give them the respect of respecting their decision and giving them that space to be like, okay, you don't want to be with me anymore. As hard as it is to not talk to you, you clearly like don't want me in your life anymore. So
No, but the thing is, if you say that you don't mean my life, if we break up, and you still constantly try to interact with me,
no, that's what I'm
the
saying.
opposite
You
of
need to
what you
have
do.
emotional maturity to respect that they don't want you in life and just not talk to them.
Yeah,
as hard as
that's-
it is.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm not really like saying I regret it, but it's been good so far. So yeah, I have more freedom. A lot of freedom to do what I want.
I think if that's the
No
case,
judgment.
then you shouldn't be in that relationship in the first place.
Yeah.
I
No,
feel
like we didn't know, innit? So
Mm.
you want, as you said, you won't know until you get in a relationship if that person's
Yeah.
good or bad for you. But now you've been in one with them, you can like weigh the pros and cons.
Mm.
Especially if you know that you can tell yourself, you can see how much you can handle in any relationship now. Like I know what I want and don't want in the next one.
Okay, I have a question. Would you rather date one person your whole life and like there's nothing wrong in that relationship? Or would you rather date like multiple people?
I would rather
Like go
date
through multiple people before you
uh,
find
multiple
someone.
people because it improves me as a person and I get to see different sides of me.
Mm.
Like I get to
Yeah.
see how I'm at my worst and I can pick myself back up multiple times, not just once. And I can see that I have a good network of support around me and I can see that there are people there for me even though if I don't have a partner. Like I don't need someone constantly pushing me. I already have someone constantly pushing me, that's my mom. Like I think for Kev's a different case. He's always had that solid rock.
I mean, for me, yeah, because I've only had one girlfriend, and
Okay.
it's been literally she's my only girlfriend.
Okay, so I guess this question's
Yeah, so like
you.
we've been going out for 5 years now, nearly hitting 6, and so like I think in any relationship there's obviously red flags, green flags, right? She's obviously seen the best of me and the worst of me, and I feel like whatever relationship you go into, there's gonna be pros and cons anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like it's about compromise, I think,
Mm.
and like yes, it's give and take. So whoever you are with, it's gonna be that anyway, you know. And I've just that I've been with someone for that long, like we've grown together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, and like my cousins and my friends say to me, like they've said it to me like a few years ago, like 2 years ago, and they said that if you have any regret now, you should just go. But I was like saying, I'm not going to, because there's nothing wrong with me and some other's relationship. I'm not going to throw that away
Yeah.
just because of my selfish needs. I want to date this girl, that girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's really like immature, and it's like, why would I throw such a precious thing now for that? So it's like, yeah,
Are you also her first boyfriend?
no, she's second.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, I was a dick, like 18 years old,
Okay.
like really bad. Like obviously my first girlfriend. I wasn't very emotional. I was just really cocky, arrogant, all that stuff. And then obviously, the thing is, I don't know if she taught me how to love, you know, because like
She taught you her version of how to love.
yeah. So I don't know. I
That's
don't know
very
now
different.
if it's like that's the way I show love now because of her.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like, but like honestly, I love her anyway. So, you know.
You heard it here,
Yeah.
Sam. He loves you.
Because I think a lot of people like think about that, where you just said like, yeah, I'm really happy and like really stable in this long-term relationship, but then there's a part of them like, fuck, like I'm missing out on like single life.
Mhm.
And then they question whether or not they should try,
Yeah.
right?
So what about you? One person or like 10 people before the one?
The latter, because like you said, I think with each relationship you learn a lot about yourself,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
like what you actually need and what you value in a relationship and what you don't want, so that in your next one it's easier to be like, actually you don't do this, so no thank you.
So
But-
like, I rather fail multiple times and then get a good one.
Yeah.
Than, like ace my test the first time.
Yeah.
I feel though like I learn regardless if like I'm learning right now still. You know, I don't need to go through like 10 different relationships to be like who I am. Yeah.
I think you're one of the
Like,
lucky
hypothetically
ones.
speaking,
Yeah,
if
definitely I'm one of those.
if
Yeah.
you haven't met Sam
If I haven't met
and you
Sam,
met someone that like was
I'll be the biggest dickhead you'll know right now. I genuinely believe that. Because I've changed so much, you know, and plus the people that I've met as well. I just feel like if I was single and no one told me no,
Mm.
it's game over. I don't think I could ever go back. Genuinely, I think I'd have been the biggest knobhead you would ever know.
How? Because you've obviously been like dating her for a really long time. How do you like keep the relationship like
Keep it
exciting?
spark.
Yeah, because that's something that I think about a lot.
Do you know what I think? I think it's the final destination where you want to be. So you both have a goal in mind where you want.
But how do you make sure that you guys are both obviously you're both like comfortable in the relationship?
Yeah.
But how do you make sure that it's not complacency?
Because we're growing towards that goal.
Okay.
That's how we. Well, I'm speaking like blah. That's how I think anyway.
Okay.
That
I mean,
we're
he's
reaching
waiting.
this goal.
He's waiting for her to graduate and get a good 6-figure job.
Oh
Then he's gonna retire.
Freeload?
Yeah. Stay at home dad. You know,
Got
3
it.
kids. Yeah, like that. Nah, I'm
That's the plan. That's the plan. And he's gonna be
Honestly,
like,
not a
No,
bad
no,
plan.
I know it's not a bad plan, but I'm just joking, bro.
Obviously, I'm trying to find my sugar mommy still.
Yeah.
Where you at?
No, I think it is just having that goal in mind, where you guys want to be at the end. Because
Yeah.
if you can't see that with your other partner, then why are you in that relationship? Anyway?
No, but it's I think with relationships, like I did see that
Yeah.
goal, right?
Okay.
But sometimes I'm like, oh, are we just too comfortable? Like, are we complacent? We're kind of doing like the same things, like not really making an effort to do like go on
Okay.
dates or like do something new,
like,
and you're just
well-
doing the same routine over and over.
Well, Kev, he goes on multiple dates. Like he'll make time. Go together.
I think it's just that I just really enjoy spending time with Sam. You know, just really actually enjoy it.
That's so
That's
cute.
So cute.
Shut up, man. Oh my god, this
He's
is.
blushing, guys. He's blushing.
If that ain't love,
I know, right? God. Do you think we should change the name?
no. How did you guys even come up with the name?
He liked it. He thought of it.
Oh.
No, it's to be fair, I give credit to Lon because he's the one that named the group Bunch of Bananas, and then Bunch of Bananas.
Oh, that was your group
Oh,
chat.
really?
That
Yeah,
was
in
your...
our uni, it was Bunch of Bananas.
That
And then
was their
Bunch of the
group
Bananas
chat.
revival, Bunch of Bananas. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was thinking, wait, I get called bananas quite a lot at home.
What from in family?
Yeah,
They call you banana.
yeah, because I'm yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Oh.
I was like, why did you just call me a lemon?
They just call me white, bro. I'm just like full on.
Yeah, you're just full of
I'm
white.
just white, bro.
Well, you act more Asian than some people.
I think because I'm just hanging out with more Asians now.
Did you not in school?
No, all my friends are white.
Same.
Yeah. So
You know, it was only until uni where I felt Asian pride. Like, I know this sounds so cheesy.
Asian pride.
As in, like, I was.
Guys, we haven't started
Oh,
recording.
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's recording.
It's recording.
As in, like, I felt so embarrassed in school or like ashamed to be Asian. And you know, like all those memes you saw like during like the Asian hate thing where
Yeah.
you brought like your udon or whatever to school,
Uh-huh.
and then your friends or like people in your school be like, "The fuck is that? Like, why does that smell like that?"
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh my god! Like, I don't. Let me just eat my like ham sandwich."
Yeah, I remember making ham sandwiches because of that reason.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
down the line, like fucking
About-
sixth form time, we got to eat that. Oh, this is nice.
yeah, or
What
they're
is
like,
this?
"Can we
It's
go to
so
that
good.
matcha
Yeah.
cafe?" Bro, like my ancestors were doing that shit.
Like,
Like,
get some
I'm
mochi,
kidding, it's not kind of
please.
Asian. I'm not Japanese, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was just like genuinely when I joined Abacus, I was like, "This is fucking lame. Like, why am I doing this?" Right?
And then like
But
2
then
weeks
I-
after that, you're like, oh shit. I'm
Yeah, and
good.
I was just like, it was so nice to be around your people. This sounds so great, like
No,
so
that's- yeah,
cringy, but
I
it
agree though.
it felt so nice to be like, oh shit, like we're actually fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like culturally,
It was different.
yeah, we're so interesting, and I just never felt that in school until uni, where I'm just kind of like
This is
we're
why she went uni. It
Asians.
wasn't for education. It was for the
Asian
clout.
pride. Oh yeah,
Only if Asian guys were 6 foot.
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're 6 foot and above, someone are dickheads. So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just saying,
I'm ready.
if I was 6 foot, my energy would be different. Would you not agree?
Just
He'll
I
be-
think
a bigger personality.
Way bigger. It'll be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Think about it. You being 6 foot, you'd be like Eric times 4.
Mm.
Like that's how loud you'd be.
Yeah. I remember like because I have a lot of social anxiety
Uh huh.
and I would say I'm quite tall for an Asian. And so when I would walk, I remember in uni, like when I walk into like the first time I met like all these people, and I tried to like physically shrink myself smaller,
Oh,
make myself smaller,
no.
because I was like, this is a lot of personalities are coming at me, and I'm obviously new. And then Ryan, bless him, he's so social.
Yeah.
And he just left me. He was like, "Oh my god, like this is my friend." He like fucked off, and I was standing there like I don't know any of these people, and I'm just standing so awkward. And I just felt like everyone was like looking at me in my head, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the guys, it was the girls as well. They're like, wow, she's tall.
Really?
Yeah, the girls are like, wow, she's a tall Asian. She's like 5'8". Like, you don't really get many tall Asian girls that are 5'8". I don't know why you would like do this.
Yes, I was like, let me just
Live it,
let me
man,
just
live it.
go in the corner with my
Live it,
drink,
man.
and yeah,
Yeah, my first impression of you was just like, you're tall, but I'm taller.
okay, it's not a
I was
competition.
like, yeah, I'm not losing you to height.
That was lame. And then what were we talking about?
Oh yeah.
So we are talking about mental health.
Okay.
Okay, so growing up as in an Asian household, what sort of expectations did your family have of you? Like, did they want to become a doctor? Did they want to become like someone that's successful or not? Or did they even give a fuck about your life?
Honestly, I was quite lucky with my parents. I think when we were really young, I don't know, I think my dad had expectations where he would want us to excel. But I think after like an incident happened, I think he realized that actually if as long as they told us like as long as you tried, that's okay. And for my dad, it was I don't care if you get 40% in a test, as long as you try again for the next one, you get 41 and there's improvement, no matter how small, that's good. And that's all that matters because you improved, even though it was small. So with that, it was kind of like nice that it's not that I didn't need to try, but if they saw that I put in effort to study for something and the results didn't show, it's okay because I knew that, and they also knew that I tried my best.
Yeah.
So that's my parents, but I gave myself a lot of pressure to excel, to be
Because you want to prove a point that you can do it.
yeah, or like I wanted to be the best.
Okay.
Right? So I don't know if it's because of like the school that I was in, or in my head it was just this memory of like needing to do well. Because I think the earliest memory where I felt like I wasn't good enough was such typical like Asian example was when I did a Mandarin test in year 6 and I got 98%, which is like pretty good, right? Year 6.
That's really good.
Yeah. So then I remember like showing my mom like, look at this shit, like, oh my god, it's so good, blah blah blah. And my dad worked a lot, so he's barely ever home because he traveled. And my mom told me to like wait up for my dad to come home and show him like my paper. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like waited, and then he came home. I showed him my paper. I was like, look, I got 98. And I remember standing there for what felt like hours of him telling me why I lost the 2%.
That's so typical of
That-
an Asian
yeah,
dad.
That was
That's
like my earliest memory. And I remember him telling me like you didn't check your answers, like all these careless mistakes, like you have to revise when you finish your homework, you revise. And like all that kind of stuff. And at that moment I was like so angry. And it was like, why the hell did I wait up to show you this shit? And I remember just like not even wanting to look at the paper and just feeling like it wasn't good enough. And I think that kind of like subconsciously that stemmed my need to be good. And I don't even remember, my mom told me this recently where he actually came to apologize to me because he was like, I had a bad day. Like, I'm sorry, like you know, that was but I think it was so traumatizing to me as a child. Having that where I don't even remember it. And from there it kind of stemmed where it's like I need to be good, I need to be really really good. And then I like changed British schools in Shanghai, and it was only good for the people, but the school was so toxic. They cared so much about like the image. And I did IB, not A levels, and I remember like a couple weeks into like first term of IB, like 3 of my teachers told me to drop the higher level subjects because they're like, you're not gonna make it.
Wow.
And I was like, I need these subjects to go into uni. Like, why aren't you like giving me the chance to work or like help me?
Yeah, of
Right?
course.
Rather
Yeah,
than
yeah,
drop
yeah.
me. But I was in the class with like those Asians that are just so fucking smart. They get it even without having to listen to the teacher.
Mhm.
And I'm like that dumb Asian in the front being like, I don't know what the hell's going
Yeah.
on, you know? Yeah, so it was a lot of that. And I think that also fueled the need to work hard for other people. But then that's not the right mindset. Like, it's supposed to be for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then again, like for university, like for a time I wanted to do medicine, and then the uni counselor was like, "No, you can't do medicine because your grades
I
aren't
would
good
change
enough."
all of that. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of it like added towards again like my need for perfection, which then adds to like my anxiety of needing to be good. But again, it wouldn't be to fulfill like a personal goal. It would be to show that I'm not a failure. Yeah.
Well, I never had that urge other than sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was like, if I wasn't good enough, I'll just drop it. I obviously you want to do like good for yourself, like because the teacher told me to drop physics, literally. Like you're shit at it. I was like,
Bye.
yeah,
No one really told me to drop any subjects in like sixth form. They just told me, they encouraged me, but I knew that I didn't like it, so I dropped it myself. Like
Yeah.
I think the only time where I needed perfection, like I felt like I needed to pursue perfection, was in like when I was training for badminton. Like I would wake up every single day at 6 a.m. just to go for a run, and I'll go to school, come back after school, go training, and do the same cycle. Even during summer, like I didn't really socialize during summer. I'll go to training camps, and that just like made me realize that I can push myself to that limit.
I think though it's because you really liked badminton.
Yeah, I had so much
Yeah.
passion for it.
It's
and
like because for me in physics, I don't like physics. I'm just gonna drop it anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if you're working towards your own goal, like if someone said to me, "You're not like you can't do art," I'd be like, "Fuck you, bro." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't
but there's
say that.
also that I had a drive to prove to myself that I can catch up, because I started training pretty late, like from the age of 14 and a half till like 18. I had to catch up because these guys started training at the age of 9. So physically, I had to catch up, and technically, I also had to catch up. But my physical fitness was better than them because I did multiple sports that like it helped me take advantage of that. And then it got to the point where I was competing against them at the same level, and I was just like, is it really worth it if I'm just doing it to become a better version? Am I enjoying it now? And I just stopped like improving after that. Like I legit lost passion, lost the drive after the age of 18 or 19. I was like, wow, I'm not really enjoying it anymore if I'm just doing it just like show that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it for myself anymore.
Yeah. And I think to bring back to your question, like how it was with my upbringing, like luckily I wasn't one of those Asian kids where my parents told me to study more. If anything, they were like, study less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents never told me to study.
No. My parents told me to study. I did not study. I would just go to internet cafes. Skip Chinese school.
Yeah. But to say that again, my parents were quite like strict. Like it was you come home from school, you have tuition, then you do your homework, and then no like TV or anything on the weekdays, and then on Fridays you can go out and play, but then on the weekends you have to like finish your homework before you go out. And
Is this typical though in Singapore?
well, this was in Shanghai.
Oh, in Shanghai. Sorry.
I mean it's pretty normal like amongst my friends. Well, at least like Asian friends. You had like the few white people that were kind of strict, but
yeah, if you went to international
yeah, but then it would still be like if I went out to play, it would be just for an hour, and then you had to come home. Yeah, or like if I remember, like if I went to my friend's house to play, I would have to go to my friend's house and then call home with their home phone to tell my mom that I had reached the friend's place, even though it's like because we lived in like a gated community, it's still within the compound.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm gonna go anywhere,
I know.
but like it's like that Asian, yeah,
So, you kidnapped? No, I'm not here.
yeah,
I'm finally arrived. Thank you.
yeah.
Wow.
You're saying that you never ever even call. You don't even call your parents when you're out when you was a kid.
No, they
You
call
just
me.
literally- Yeah.
Like, wait, I'm on my way home. My phone died.
It's so different though
Yeah.
here compared to China or like Shanghai.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like-
also like because you guys would like go to and from school like yourself, right? Yeah, like for us, if you lived close to campus, then you like go
Yeah.
to school. But for us, the school bus would come pick you. So you're only ever gonna go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And like there'll be like those like bus monitors like taking attendance, that making sure that you're
Oh,
there.
wow.
So there's really no other way that you can go, because if you miss the bus, you're not gonna be able to
I
get
had
home.
that experience in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Like they will just take me to school directly,
Mm.
but I had so much freedom coming over here. I just enjoyed it so much. I'll take detours coming on the way back, or let me take the bus and take the train. Because like in London, when you're under the age of 16,
Yeah.
like the tube fare was like back in the day, it was like what, £1, and that was like a bit of my pocket money. But obviously, I had fun doing it, so I'll take the bus for free, find a different route, and find a faster route to come back home. Sometimes I get lost because my phone dies, or sometimes that's how like I got that like attitude to speak to strangers quite openly. Like, oh, can you tell me what this is? Can you show me what that is? Because I'm not really scared.
Mm.
Like, what are they gonna do? Kidnap me and like what? Take me somewhere? I'm in UK. Like, if I go missing, my mum will probably call the police after 2 days.
After 2
days.
days.
'Cause, like,
wow.
She works pretty late, and then when she comes back home, she sometimes checks up on me. She doesn't sometimes do it as well, because during that time I lived and I also had my own room, and she'll come back like say at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then she'll get too tired to even check up on me, because I know what time she comes home and I'll stay awake.
Mhm.
I'll say hi to her, but there'll be times where she forgets and I must go back to sleep because I can hear the door open.
Mm.
And like obviously she'll be, oh, if you go missing for 2 days, I'll probably call the police. 2 days.
If I don't contact my parents back then for like 2 hours,
2 hours. Mine's like 10 minutes late.
oh my god, I get a fucking I get beaten up, bro. Not physically.
You
beaten.
have your parents
Emotionally.
not made time for you. Yeah, I enjoy the freedom, 'cause especially if this train station I got on to get to school was, a few of my teachers lived quite close to me.
Mhm.
I'll say hi to them, but then I won't go back with them. Like I know what time they finish, because after school activities, I'll play that badminton, I'll play basketball, do all kinds of like sports activities, and then they'll also finish at the same time, and they'll also go home around the same time as me. So I'll see them and I'll speak to them.
Mhm.
That's how I became the teacher's pet, because I spoke to them.
Would you guys raise your kids the same way your parents raised you? Or what are aspects that you think you'll take and what you will like do different?
Mm.
Spend more time with them.
Oh,
100% spend
Yeah.
more time with them.
definitely spend more time with my kids. The thing is,
Because my mom's like parenting style is very similar to my grandma's. Like you can have all the freedom you want. Just that you need to know that I need to know that you're safe. That's what
Mhm.
they said. And they don't really care what you do in life, just that you need to be safe, and that you know that you have support. But then that also has a downside to it, because my family is quite big, so
Mhm.
my grandma didn't really spend time with each individual person, and that kind of like passed on to my mom. My mom didn't really spend much time with me. She spent more time with my sisters than me.
Mm.
And then when I came to UK, she tried to spend more time, but then obviously I didn't really see her as a mom. I saw my auntie as my mom, and I felt like my mom was my auntie rather than my real mom. Yeah, that's what that I would definitely change with my kids.
What about you?
I feel like my parents, how they raised me is like they just gave everything they could, and I think that mindset is really good because like
Mhm.
my parents, they can't help me with education. They didn't go to education themselves. They couldn't spend time with me because they was too busy working. So like they just provided as much as they can towards their kids.
Yeah.
So like when I have kids, I'll just do the same thing, but the things I can actually do, like I can help them with their homeworks. I can spend more time with them. So yeah, there's nothing like major I would change because like the way they think as well. They're very
Like generational gap.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing is they're not even that close-minded, my parents.
Right.
So I think I would just raise them how my parents raised them essentially. They never beat me or anything like that. You know, they just couldn't. They could only give what they could give.
Yeah.
So I think I'd just be the same, but just my way. Like I can actually help them
Mm-hmm.
in my own way. As long as I give them 100% to them, it's fine.
So would you like send your kids to international school, like boarding school?
So mine wasn't a boarding school, which is it wasn't boarding school, it's just
Oh.
international school.
I
So
was for the
it's
boarding school.
no. Like my whole family lived in Shanghai. It's basically the same as your school, except it's just it's international, not state.
Oh,
Honestly, I would love to send my kids to international school, but now, like financially, I don't think it's possible. It's We were very lucky in the sense where like majority of the people that went to international school, the fees were paid by your dad's or your parents' company.
Mhm.
So it wasn't funded on your own, which we were very, very lucky, because if you were, it's fucking expensive. Like
Yeah, I bet.
my last 2 years of high school of IB was more expensive than my sister's university fee.
what?
Oh my god.
Like, you know how
That's
crazy
insane.
that is?
Yeah.
And we were so lucky, like we didn't need to pay for that. And so I think part of it, because you have this privilege, I think a lot of me and my friends felt like we were given this opportunity. You
Mhm.
better fucking milk it. Like, you're not gonna put all your parents' hard work to waste just to fuck around. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you had those kids that just was like aloof and just didn't fucking care.
Yeah.
But I think thankfully, like me and my friends, we all had the same belief where not everyone gets this experience. So
That's
if you're
very,
gonna get this like
At that
type of
age, it's a good mindset.
education and these opportunities, you should make it worth your while. And
So going back to the question, are you living for your parents or living for yourself?
definitely, I don't know. I think,
'Cause it seems like you don't want to disappoint them. So
At what stage?
of course, I don't want to
have you,
disappoint
have you
them.
like separated the idea of living for them or for yourself at this stage of life?
I think it's a good amalgamation of both. Like, I will still do things that I want to do. My
Mhm.
parents never say, "Oh, do this for us,"
Mhm.
but I definitely feel like I owe it to them to like give them a return of investment. You know.
yeah.
And what is that an Asian mindset? Yeah, probably. But I think because of the like my parents didn't grow up like well off.
Mhm.
They were poor. Like their highest level of education is, I think, like high school or something. So for them to turn their life around like 180, and I came here for university. Like they
Yeah.
didn't even go to university. So is it for them? Yeah, probably a little bit. But I know that the things that I'm doing is for myself, and with that, it's for them, because I am like bettering myself, and so that I can like be like independent,
Yeah.
you know.
Well
So I
said.
think for like Asians, it's very hard for you to be like for yourself or for your parents, because it's very hard for us to separate our identities,
Yeah.
because we have that like innate belief that what you do
Well,
will
that-
affect them too.
And
Yeah.
also, like, what they've given you, you want to give back.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
with interest.
Yeah.
But it's harder now because it's harder to, like, have that opportunity.
Yeah.
As you said, like, there's rising prices of everything.
It's crazy.
And, like, the competition is rising.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what makes us stand up from the crowd? We have to do a lot of stupid stuff. Well, not even stupid stuff, like, to have a lot of success in the field is quite hard.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of pressure that I put on myself too, because I want to be able to give my kids the same opportunities that my parents gave me. But in this time, like day and age, that shit is hard. It's so hard. And for what I do for a living is not gonna pay for that, you know? Unfortunately.
Unless you run your own company.
Yeah. But even then, it's like so expensive. So I think I have a lot of pressure where I feel like, because I got to like go overseas to study or like travel and stuff, like I want my kids to have those opportunities.
I think you'll get there. You have a really good mindset. Like I think you'll be able to achieve it in the future.
Not even mindset.
Just like
her
talking
work
to you
ethic
now.
is ridiculous.
That's what I mean.
Uni,
Just like listening to you right now, I think.
she'll study like 6
Yeah.
hours a day. I'm like, why are you studying 6 hours a day? Like, it's physio. I'm like, why are you studying 6 hours?
I got feet to rub, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the stories that you and Ryan told me about your like placement, like having to like clean someone's backside. Wow. Just for a degree.
We do it because we want to help people.
Yeah,
You sure?
God.
And then
Yeah.
like you complain about how like stinky it is.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this, blood?
Yeah.
Well, this is what Ryan did. He was like 2 fingers.
Oh shit.
So you technically done a prostate exam or something. At that age, wow. I respect that.
Have you guys ever felt like you disappointed your parents?
100%.
Like, but genuinely, like, had that self-reflection moment where you're like, shit, like, I really fucked up.
I don't think so. I haven't done anything that dumb yet. Yeah.
Okay, have you ever?
Oh, yeah. It was, I think, when I dropped out of my first uni, she was like, "Oh shit, man. She's like, what did I do? She basically sat me down, like, what did I do? You dropped out of uni. I can't even find a job." That's what she said to me. I'm like, "Why can't you just apply to a university?" I'm like, "No, I want to take a gap year." And I went to work, and she's like, "You better sign up for uni again." I did that, and then the second disappointment was, this was a killer, was when I rejected doing masters, because she like persistently asked me to do masters. Like, "I want you to go to uni, graduate, and do a masters." I was like, "I'm not doing a masters," because she really compares me to her brother. Like my uncle finished his masters at the age of 35, like masters in finance, and he's doing really well in Malaysia. Well, I was told him, we don't need masters at this day and age. A master's just a title.
Yeah.
Like, you're using that title to compare me to my uncle. Is that fair? Like, what if I was to compare you to my uncle? That's not fair. And I said that to her. She's like, you can't use that card on me." I'm like, "I can, because you use the same card on me." And she kept going. I was like, "Give me a year to think about it." Like, had that whole COVID year, moved out, did my own thing, came back, went back to her, said, "I'm still not doing a masters." And she told me to think about it for 6 more months. And I told her straight up, still not doing a masters. So like, it was a consistent disappointment, saying, "I don't want to do masters, no. Because she compared me to her brother, and also my dad's brother. Like, he's in architecture, and he done his masters quite young, like 27. In Malaysia, that's quite young. And he's earning like 6 figures in Malaysia. I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to do masters, because some of my friends that did masters are not doing what they studied.
Yeah, I think it's only worth doing if you know what you want to study further in, but even then, like you said, it's not necessary anymore.
So yeah, oh shit. Have you felt like you disappointed your parents or your sister?
You know this question, yeah? I feel like, so your parents, your dad said, as long as you improve,
Yeah.
it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And I think that mindset, like, I feel like it depends, because like, if I disappoint my parents, I'm disappoint myself. So then I'm not pushing myself. So I feel like if you're doing something but like completely left, then you just disappoint yourself, essentially, right? Like, you need to, I don't know how to say it.
I mean, I would disappoint myself if I did a masters, because I would not put 100% into the masters. That's my like thinking if I did a masters. Like, I would not enjoy doing a masters.
I think my parents didn't care what I did, though. They didn't care how much money I earned, what I did as a job. They just wanted me to be happy with what I am doing right now. So as long as as long as I'm happy, then, you know, I'm pushing myself towards a goal that I want to do, then it should be fine. That's how I see it. You know, my parents, I don't think they'll ever be disappointed in me unless I did some fucked up shit. You know,
like burn a house down.
No, honestly, even if I burn a house down, my dad would just turn around and be like, "You fucking idiot."
Yeah, that's disappointment.
No, it's just like my son's stupid. Like,
yeah.
I don't call it disappointment.
I don't think I've ever.
That 2%, yeah.
Yeah.
2%.
That shit was rough. I don't think I've ever done anything for them to feel like I've disappointed them. I think the biggest thing that made them, like, I guess, shock them the most, and this is like the smallest thing ever, but I once like lied to them about where I was going, and they caught me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like going clubbing. I wasn't even doing anything crazy. But like, when I used to hang out with my friends, like when we were old enough to like go out with your friends like during the day, like shopping or whatever, I would have to tell them, for example, like which mall I was going to. And if I was only going to this one mall, I can only be in that one mall. Like, I am not allowed to cross the road and go to the second mall. So I remember like they dropped me off at Mall A, And then we got there, and then I remember getting there, and then my friends calling me and like some people that I was with saying that they don't actually want to be in this mall. They want to be in the other mall. But these people that I was friends with are, first of all, like Caucasian and European, so their parents don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they do, but as long they just know that they're gonna come back home, they're gonna go out and they're gonna come back home. Whereas for me, it's like I only ask permission to go to Mall A. Therefore, I can only be present in Mall A. And I was in this,
Are you there?
yeah, and I was like in this state of panic because I'm like, do I call my mother or my parents to tell them like, oh, like actually we're going here, not here? Because then they'll be like, why didn't you tell us earlier?
Yeah.
Why didn't you plan better? Which is like normal for them to do. So in the end, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just cross the road and go to Mall B. I have the worst luck in this whole in the world. They saw me like go to the other place.
Oh, no.
And then I remember like getting a call from my mom and being like, oh, I know that we said that you can come home at like 8 or whatever, but you now have to be home by 5. And I was like, why? Like, like why do I have to be home? Like, oh, it's just like logistics of the car. Like you have to just come home by 5. You're gonna get picked up at 5. And I was like, okay. I go back home. Oh my god, they were just like, where did you go? And I was like, oh, I went to Mall A.
Your
and
parents are ups.
and they were, I remember them like sitting in their room, and I was like, I went to Mall A, and they're like, really? You went to Mall A? And then I was like, yeah, I did.
Played a game,
and they were like, they were just asking me like a bunch of questions about it. And I remember my dad being like, I'm gonna ask you one more time, where did you go? And I was like, oh, I went to Mall B. And then it was this whole thing where they're like, you lied to us, like you didn't, why did you, like blah 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 blah. And then I remember I was like 14, and in my head I was, I understand why you're upset, but it's more the fact that I didn't feel comfortable enough to explain to you that I'm actually going here. Like I'm not even doing anything sus. It's just that you guys are so fucking like uptight, and like I get it, like you're protective and we're in China, whatever, but I didn't feel like I could tell them and for them to understand. And it was this whole thing because they were like, I can't believe you lied to us, like nah nah nah. And then I remember they took away my phone, they took away my laptop, like,
oh my God.
And because like in school we needed our laptop for stuff, so they only gave it to me like for work. And I was like so angry because I'm like, I don't even know how to explain to you why I didn't feel comfortable enough to share that.
Yeah.
And then I remember my sister being mad at me too, because she's like, I can't believe you lied to them. Like, why didn't you tell me? But at the time, like my sister and I weren't really that close because I'm like, we don't really talk like that. Older sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was this whole thing, and it took a while for me to like not be angry. But my response was anger, and I didn't feel like I understood why they were upset because I did lie, but I feel like they didn't get why I did that.
Give you a chance to speak.
They won't understand anyway, even if you told them.
Yeah, so I think that was the main time where I felt like I disappointed them because I lied.
Yeah.
But I think after that it was better in the sense where if I wanted to go, I could kind of explain to my mom like my reasoning behind it or whatever, and she was more understanding. But that was definitely like the most traumatic thing ever because I remember just like kneeling on the floor and being like, I'm so sorry.
Are you open with your parents now? Like really, like how's your relationship with your parents?
Oh, like my mom is like my best friend. Like
Yeah.
I tell her everything.
That's nice.
I not very close with my dad. I think I only share things when it's like necessary. Like if it's gonna impact like my lifestyle, then I would share.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You won't be
not
like, oh,
really.
this one dude. I mean, I don't know, like talk about your day or like.
It's like, oh yeah, one of my friends.
Oh no, I would like we will talk about that. Like my family is like weird in a sense where like okay, like my mom and I will talk about everything, but like if my dad is like in the picture, we do a lot of activities together. Like we'll go to the cinema together. If we go out for dinner, we might go to a bar together first. Then we go out for dinner. Like we do a lot of activities, which is nice. And we'll talk about things like our days and stuff. We always eat dinner together.
Would you have DMC with your dad?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you ever start a DMC with your dad? To get like closer to each other?
Not really, no.
Not really, because I started recently with my dad. Or once every month. It's not even DMC, it's just him ranting at me.
Okay.
I see that's a DMC too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would talk about like my emotions with my dad.
Why? Like, is it because you're
It's-
scared that he will say something judgmental?
I think it's just a very foreign conversation. Like it's not he wouldn't be, sad to say, like he wouldn't be my go-to person to speak to.
Yeah, but it could open up a different like gate, like door for you. Oh yeah, my dad never really opened this up. Like you find something interesting about your dad that you never knew, and he'll find something interesting about you.
Is your dad an emotional person?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Hmm.
It's not like, is it depending on scenario? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's not very good at showing emotions, which I think is very common for
Very common.
like
I've only seen my
Asian
dad cry
dads.
once.
One or a few times.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know. My dad is like hard nut to crack. Like he's very like set in his ways, and yeah, I just don't think I could have like a heart to heart.
I think the only time when my mum fully opened up to me was when my nephew was born, and she showed a complete different side to her. Like she was willing to not care about a lot of stuff that she used to care about. Like, oh yeah, you have to do this a certain way. Not after he was born, everything changed. So I think if you were to have a family, he could open up even more.
Pop a few kids and then your
Yeah.
dad be like, oh baby.
No, my dad is great with kids.
Yeah.
Like my cousin just had a baby and he's like great with kids, but I think it's more. I think a lot of it is like childhood experiences that's like hindering me from wanting to open
Mhm.
up, and for me, like I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to end in there?
Did that, yeah?